All right, let's dive in. In this masterclass, we're going to lay out the exact blueprint for one of the most significant B2B opportunities of this decade, building an AI automation agency. Now, this isn't about hype or some fleeting trend. This is a real strategic guide for building a high-value business that solves tangible and, frankly, very expensive problems. You see, the demand for efficiency in business is just exploding, and you're about to learn exactly how to put yourself right in the middle of it. Let's begin. Take a look at this number, $207.78. So what do you think that is? The price of some fancy piece of software? A consultant's hourly rate, maybe? No. It's something way more common and for a lot of businesses, way more painful.
Yeah, that's the cost for one click. If a company wants to show up when someone searches for something like help desk software for small business, they are willing to pay Google over $200 for just one potential visitor. And this is not a fluke. The B2B world is one of the most competitive advertising spaces on the planet, all because the lifetime value of a single client is so incredibly high. This is the expensive battle for attention that businesses are fighting every single day.
And that, right there, is the fundamental question that frames this entire opportunity. What if, instead of helping businesses just buy more clicks, you could build a business that makes every single lead, every customer interaction, every internal process so brutally efficient that the cost of that click becomes almost irrelevant? You're not selling ads, you're selling operational excellence, and it's all powered by AI. This is the very heart of the AI automation agency.
So, let's kick things off with Section 1, the high RPM opportunity. Now, in the advertising world, RPM stands for Revenue per Thousand Impressions. We're kind of borrowing that idea here to talk about a business model that is built from the ground up to attract high-value clients. This is all about positioning yourself as an expert in a niche where businesses are already spending a ton of money and are desperate to find solutions that deliver a massive return on their investment.
So here's the game plan. First, we'll unpack this market opportunity. Then, we're going to get into the core tech and this really cool concept called Agentic Workflows. From there, we'll get practical and talk about building automations that actually solve real problems. And finally, we'll cover the business side of things, how you monetize these skills and scale up your agency. It's the complete roadmap from concept all the way to cash flow.
All right, let's move on to Section 2 and get under the hood to see how this all really works. It's time to demystify the tech that's powering these AI automation agencies. You know, a lot of people think AI in business is just about fancy chatbots, but the reality is so much more powerful. We're about to explore the real tools of the trade.
This slide right here, this shows probably the most critical distinction you need to understand in AI today. For the past couple of years, we've mostly been dealing with passive AI, right? We give it a prompt, it gives us some text back. It's basically a question and answer machine. But the business model we're building is based on active AI. These aren't just chatbots, they are autonomous agents. They don't just talk, they do. An agent can understand a complex request, securely access other software, your CRM, your email, and actually execute multi-step tasks for you. This is the huge leap from just answering questions to getting entire jobs done.
So, how do we actually build these agents? Well, our core tech stack is pretty simple when you think about it with this metaphor: the brain, the engine, and the bridge. The brain is a large language model, like GPT-4 or Claude. It handles all the reasoning and decision-making. The engine is a tool like N8N. This is where we build the complex, custom logic. It's the real powerhouse of our operation. And the bridge? That's something like Zapier, which is perfect for quickly connecting thousands of apps for simpler point A to point B tasks. Knowing when to use the power of an engine versus the speed of a bridge is key. But together, they give you a super flexible stack for any automation challenge.
And when we put all those tools together, we create what's called an agentic workflow. Now, the key thing to get here is that this is not the old school automation of if this, then that. That's like a vending machine. You press A3, you get chips. An agentic workflow is like having an intelligent assistant. It can read a nuanced email, figure out what's important, check a database, and then draft a personalized reply. It's a whole system of AI agents working together to handle a complex process from beginning to end. And you know what? Almost any workflow you'll ever build breaks down into these 4 stages. First is a trigger. A new email comes in, someone submits a form, whatever. Second is data extraction. An agent pulls out and structures all the key info. Third is reasoning. This is where the LLM brain kicks in. It analyzes the data, maybe does a quick search to enrich it, and decides what to do next. And finally, execution. The agent goes and does something in another system, updates your CRM, drafts that personalized email, you name it. Trigger, extract, reason, execute. That is your repeatable formula for success.
Okay, let's move into section 3, because this is where we see how all this theory creates real-world value. Now that we get the tech, let's talk about where to point it. See, the key to a successful agency isn't just being a tech wizard. It's about being a problem-solving expert. You have to find the most painful, repetitive, high-value processes in a business and go after those first.
These right here, these are the gold mines. Think about all the hidden costs in these areas, all the hours spent manually updating a CRM, the huge bottleneck of sorting through support tickets, the mind-numbing data entry from invoices, or the time it takes to screen hundreds of resumes. These aren't just little tasks, they are entire business functions that are totally bogged down by repetitive work, and they are just begging to be automated.
And the impact here is absolutely staggering. I mean, we are not talking about small 5% improvements. Businesses are reporting a 65 to 80% reduction in the time it takes to get things done and a 90% drop in errors. But honestly, the most important part is the human element. This is about freeing talented people from that soul-crushing repetitive work so they can focus on the creative, strategic stuff that actually grows a business. You're not just selling efficiency, you're selling employee empowerment.
Okay, let's make this super concrete with a classic, high-value example. A new lead fills out a Contact Us form. That's our trigger. An agent instantly grabs their info. Now here comes the magic step, the reasoning. The LLM brain takes the company name, does a quick web search to see who they are, qualifies them against the client's ideal customer profile, and then drafts a super personalized email that references what it just learned. Finally, execution. The new lead gets automatically added to the CRM, and that draft email is sent to the sales rep. All they have to do is glance at it and hit send. The whole thing takes seconds.
So what's the real impact of that one automation? Well, for each and every sales rep, you are saving them an estimated 8 to 12 hours a week. That is a full day they get back to do what they do best, actually talking to qualified people and closing deals instead of doing manual research and data entry. I mean, when you can walk into a business and give their best employees 25% of their time back, you can pretty much name your price.
And look, this isn't just for sales. The same principles apply all across the business. Take content marketing. You could build a workflow that takes a simple topic, researches the top articles, generates an outline, drafts the content, and even optimizes it for SEO. You could help a team produce content 3 to 5 times faster. Just imagine that same power applied to finance or HR or operations. The applications are everywhere.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important section, monetization and scaling. Okay, you've got the skills, you know the problems, and you've built the solutions. So how do you turn this into a thriving 6-figure agency?
You've basically got 3 main ways to make money here. You can start with one-time project fees. A business has a problem, you build a custom solution, they pay you once. Simple. But the real goal is to move to recurring revenue. You can offer a monthly retainer to monitor, maintain, and optimize their automations. And then, as you grow, you can create productized services, pre-built solutions for common problems, like that lead gen system we talked about, that you can sell over and over again.
Now, understanding how to price your services is absolutely critical. When you're selling to other businesses, you have to shift your mindset. You are not selling your time, you are selling results. This is called value-based pricing. If your automation saves a company $10,000 a month in labor, charging them $2,500 for it is an incredible deal for them and obviously very profitable for you. You price based on the massive return you provide, not the hours you work. That's what lets you command premium rates.
And here's a powerful secondary revenue stream you should definitely be thinking about: affiliate commissions. The tools you're using, N8N, Zapier, the API calls to OpenAI, they often have partner programs. When you set up a solution for a client, they need their own subscriptions. By referring them, you earn a recurring commission. And in a high-trust B2B relationship where you're their expert, the conversion rates on these referrals are crazy high, creating a nice passive income stream that just grows with every client you bring on.
So, where do you actually begin? It's a simple, proven path. Don't try to automate everything at once. Start by finding one client and delivering one high-impact project. You could even start by automating your own stuff first to learn the ropes. But the most important part is step 3. Calculate the potential ROI before you start building. Show the client, in plain dollars, how much time and money you're going to save them. Then, you use the results from that first project as a powerful case study to land your next client and the one after that. Now, as you build, it is so important to remember that long-term success is built on trust, not just on cool tech. This is about building a sustainable, reputable brand. And that means always keeping a human in the loop for critical decisions. It means being totally transparent with your clients about how AI is being used. And it means using this power for personalization that adds value, not for manipulation. Staying on top of fairness and regulations isn't just a chore, it's what protects your clients and your business. That foundation of trust is what separates a real agency from all the hype.
This quote right here perfectly sums up the whole philosophy. Your goal is not to create a world without people. Your goal is to build systems that handle the 80% of repetitive, predictable work, which frees up human experts to apply their nuance, their empathy, and their strategic thinking to that critical final 20%. You're selling augmented intelligence, a partnership between human and machine that creates a result that's better than what either one could do alone.
So there you have it. That's the blueprint. We've seen that businesses are spending a fortune just to get attention, and we've explored how agentic AI can completely revolutionize how they operate, creating just massive value. The problems are out there, waiting to be solved. The tools are more accessible than they have ever been. So the only question left is the one on your screen. Who will you automate for first? Thanks for watching.